Okay, so today I'm going to show you on how are we going to add an audio file or music into our game. Okay, so first of all, we are going to look for free audio files. Okay, so actually there are a lot of websites that offers free downloads for royalty-free audio or music. Okay, so what I found here is I have the Pixabay, or you could go to Google, or you could any search engine that you want, then you could uh, download files from there. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how are we going to do it with Pixabay. Okay, so we have here a lot of free, royalty-free audio files. Okay, so you could see here also the length of the audio file. So you could test by clicking on the play button. Okay, so we have here the audio file for the music for this one. Then try if you want that music, then you could just click on download. Okay, so in my case, I have downloaded uh, different audio files, okay, for player jump and for my background music. Okay, so I'm going to show you first how are we going to work with a single file for my jump routine. Okay. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to create here a folder and I'm going to name it audio. Okay, so it is in this folder that I'm going to store all of my audio files. So I'm going to have, okay, I'm just going to have the player jump first. Okay, so I have now dragged the file into my audio folder. Okay, so next is I'm going to click on the game object to where I'm going to attach my jump audio. So in this case, we're going to have our player. Okay, so far, what we have added is the rigid body, box collider, and the script for the player movement or the player controller. Okay, so these are the components that we have added into our game object player. So since I'm going to have an audio, okay, so I'm going to add another component, okay, and I'm going to call it, I'm going to have the audio source. Okay, so click on audio source. Then we have here now additional component for our player, okay, named audio source. Okay, so what are the properties or the parameters that I'm going to modify for my audio source? So the first here is we have the audio clip. Okay, so it is here where we are going to define what is the music file or audio file that we are going to attach into our audio source. Okay, so I'm going to click and drag player jump into my audio clip. So we have it there now. Okay, then we have here play on awake. Okay, so play on awake means when I'm going to run my game, it is going to immediately play this audio file. Okay, so take note. I'm going to start. I'm going to click play and take note of the sound it produces at the beginning of the game.
Ow.
Okay, so that's the audio or the player jump. Okay, so I don't want the audio to execute or to play at the start. Okay, so what I want is that I just want the sound to play when the player performs the jump routine. Okay, so that is why we're going to go now to our scripts. Okay, save it here. Okay, so no, supposedly we don't still have that. Okay, so I have tested it a while ago. So jump. Okay, we've heard the jump. So first is we are going to initialize a variable audio source. Okay, I'm going to call it jump audio. Okay, so that we could determine that this is for the jump. Okay, then on our start, jump audio is equal to get component. Then we're going to have our audio source. Okay, so it must be an audio source. Take note here. In our player, we have audio source. Take note, these are the components. Okay, so we have the rigid body 2D. So you have it there, rigid body 2D, box collider 2D, and we have our audio source. Okay, so we have now defined where or what file or what component this variable is connected with. Okay, so we are now going to play that audio when the player jump audio. Okay, so jump audio dot play. Okay, so save, then play. So we don't have now the play audio at the start of the game, as I'm going to let the player jump. Okay, so you could hear the jump audio. Okay, so that's how are we going to perform or execute or play an audio file which corresponds to a certain event. In this case, we have the jump audio. Okay, so next is I'm going to have the background music. Okay, I'm going to have both of them. Okay, it is going to take for a while. Okay, so we have here now the background audio 1 and 2. Okay, so I want you to take note that one audio source component could contain only one audio clip. Okay, so how are we going to incorporate the other two audio sources or audio clips? Okay, so simple. We're just going to add another audio source. Okay, and we are going to make, or we are going to attach this audio clip into this audio source. Okay, so now we have here play on awake. So therefore, as I'm going to play or start the game, it is going to immediately start the audio file. Okay, so run or start. Okay, so we have that. It's too loud. So now we have here, it is full volume actually, one being the highest. So I'm going to let's say I'm just going to have 0.1. Okay, so run again. Wait, oh, that's the jump. Okay, save it here. So we're going to have 0.1. Okay, so it's up to you then. So you could play with the values for the volume. Okay, so as you can see, for my jump audio is still louder than the background. Okay, so next is we're going to add another audio source. Okay, for background 02. Okay, still play on awake. So if ever I'm going to click on play, by the way, it should be 0.10 or 0.1. Okay, play. Okay, so what have you observed? We have now two audio files that are playing at the same time. Okay, so why? Because both of them are, we have checked on play on awake. By the way, we have the loop Okay, so if ever it is a background music, so you should click on loop so that because this one here is going to run only for I think 1 point something minutes. Okay, so if ever it is going to end and while we are still on the scene, so it is going to go back at the start of the audio. Okay, so we're just going to click on loop. Okay, so what I want to do then is that okay, I want to play those background music one at a time. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. So when the user or the player collides with the ladder, it is going to play music number one. If ever it is going to collide with the cactus, it is going to play music number two. Okay, so wait. Okay, the tag for the ladder is we have obstacle, and for the cactus, enemy. I think the enemy is okay. So we're not going to have. We are going to uncheck the trigger so that it's going to respond on the on collision event. Okay. Now we are now dealing with multiple audio files or audio sources. I mean, okay. We have 3 audio sources. Okay. So to deal with multiple audio sources, we are going to create an array. Okay, an array of audio source. Okay, so I'm just going to call it audio sources. So that remain this is now an array. Okay, so audio sources. Take note, sources. Okay, so we are going to get those 3 audio source components. Okay, so to get that, we are just going to have, instead the get component singular, we are going to use get components. Okay, so get components plural, it is going to actually get all. Okay, no matter how many audio sources that we have there, it is going to get them all and create or store them into an array and assign them to audio sources. Okay, so that is why you can see here, audio source, it is an array. Okay. Then for the jump, if ever I'm going to have audio sources, take note that there are 3 audio sources we have here. Okay, and since they are into an index, so therefore this is audio source 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so therefore the jump is we are going to have the 0. Okay, or the first element into our array. Okay, so save. So I'm just going to try first the jump. Okay, so we still have our jump audio. Okay, so what I want is when I touch the ladder, and the ladder, by the way, is tagged as obstacle. Okay, so I want the first background music to play. Okay, so we're going to have it here on our on collision enter 2D. Okay, so we're going to have audio sources, then 1 dot play. Okay, and else if other object dot tag dot equals, I think that's enemy. Okay, so we are going to play the second music. Okay, so if ever the ladder, which is obstacle, and the cactus, which is enemy, so it is going to play either 1 or 2, or background 1 and background 2. It is because we have here um, 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so save. Okay, we still have our jump. Then touch the ladder. So as you can see, the first audio file has been played, but the audio is still there after the jump. Okay, so if I want to go to the cactus, I'm going to touch the cactus. Okay, so there, how many files or how many audio files are now playing? So actually, we have now 2 files that are playing. Okay, so what I want is that if ever I'm going to touch the cactus, so I'm going to turn off or stop background 1 and vice versa. Okay, so here we could have audio sources 2 dot stop. And here we're going to stop our 1. Save. Okay, save it there now. Then I want to go to this next background music. Okay. Okay, save it there. But the problem with this code is that if ever that we are going to add some more audio sources, so meaning we are going to modify all of these, and it would be a bit difficult then to manage. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a method. Okay, first that is going to stop all. Okay, void stop all audio. Okay, then I is equal to 0. I is less than audio sources dot length, then I plus plus. So we are going to iterate through all of the content or the elements of or all audio sources inside our array. Okay, and then we are going to audio sources then I dot stop. Okay, but then to make it more efficient, so we are going to validate if audio sources I dot is playing, then we're going to stop. Okay, so this is now more efficient because we are going to stop only if ever it is playing, because we it would be redundant if ever that we are going to issue the command stop. By the way, that's capital S. Stop if ever that certain audio source is currently playing. Okay, so therefore I'm going to stop all audio before playing that audio there. Okay, so save. Oops, we have an error. Is playing, it's capital L. Okay, we have it there. Capital L. Save. Oh. Cannot be used as a method. Okay, so it is a property, so therefore we are not going to use, we are going to remove the parentheses. Okay. Okay. Touch. Okay, so actually we could create another function here, void play audio. Then what index are we going to play? So that we are just going to uh, get those commands here. Stop. Then instead of we're going to have here 2, we are going to have an index. Okay, this index here. Okay, then here we're just going to call play audio. Then we have 2. Then here again play audio. Then 1. Now, what will happen if ever we are going to have the play audio here? So it is going to stop the background, then play the jump audio. So we're just going to have it this way, okay? Because we are not going to turn off the background music when we are going to play the jump audio, okay? Touch. Okay. So actually, what I'm just showing you here now is there are 2 instances or different instances wherein we are going to change the audio source for the background music. Okay, so in your case, again, the way the music are being played or they are manipulated into our code will depend on our situation, on the requirement for our game. Okay, so take note, what I have shown you now is how are we going to play multiple audio files at the same time or at in parallel or one at a time. In our case, our background music is one at a time, but the background audio are going to play in parallel with our jump audio. Okay, so there would still be a lot of audio files or music that you're going to play, for example, when the player dies or when it is going to touch a trigger or whatever, okay? That will depend on the requirements for our game, okay? And by the way, it is not only the player wherein you could attach an audio source. You could attach to any game object, okay? So that's all for this video, and I'll see you on the next one.